All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin up, movement in Doge. Dogecoin up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin up, movement in Doge. Dogecoin 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Friday, end of the week. We're going to get caught up on how things ended up trading on a Friday and then outlook for the weekend and what are the risks for Dogecoin. We're going to talk about that today on KrissPax Live. Welcome everybody. Not a great week overall, but Doge is actually holding up okay. I mean, the stock market was really dropping today, but not Dogecoin. And Dogecoin is still in the green. So not bad, but yes, Shaj, no risk, no reward. Exactly. And that's the theme, right? Particularly with Dogecoin is there's always a risk, right? There's always a risk, but if you didn't trade with any risk, you're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. So yes, with big risk can become big reward, but it's always risky. It's all risky, right? It's all risky. So welcome everybody. How's everybody doing on a Friday? Overall, the U.S. economy is not looking great. And Kalshi, the bettors on Kalshi are trading up on whether there's going to be a U.S. recession. Excuse me. So to get a little cough right at the beginning of the live stream. So 36% chance now that there's going to be a U.S. recession this year. And as we've seen in past recession years, the lead up to a recession is pretty much what's happening now in the markets. So it's looking like kind of like 2008 in terms of the big markets, not crypto, because there was no crypto in 2008, but it is looking very 2008-ish, particularly with what's happening with real estate. And there's a lot of houses dropping prices, or they're pulling off the market and then they're coming back on the market again. And a lot of house sales or potential sales are falling through as people aren't able to get their financing in place, or they're having second thoughts once they get into all the numbers and they pull out of a deal. And there are also a lot of houses where the sellers are taking lowball offers. Lowball offers are coming in, and you see houses selling for thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes, depending on the overall price of the house, less than the ask price. So buyers are looking for deals if they need to buy a house, and they are putting in lowball offers. So all of that is happening, which is feeling kind of like 2008. Now, 2008 ended up having all of the whole mortgage crisis going on, but we're not going to have as much of that this time. But the looming recession and stagflation, remember a few weeks ago, we talked about stagflation, that is still out there. And you ask, hey, what's stagflation, Kriss? Well, stagflation is when you have unemployment ticking up, you have inflation ticking up, and you have GDP going down. And we have that happening at a low level now. It's probably going to get worse as we go into the summer and this Iran war conflict thing drags on. So none of that is good. So the setup overall is bearish. We are in a bear market. Hope you all understand that and realize that now. As Kriss has been saying since November, from the beginning of November, when I declared, okay, I'm a bear, and it's all playing out. So we'll look at the charts in a little bit and how that looks. Talk a little about Ben Cowan and what he was saying, because it's kind of what I was saying, but he gives a little different take on it. So we'll be looking at that. Meanwhile, we just had an FOMC. The US Fed held rates, no rate cuts. And everybody wondering, hey, how about the next? Are we going to have a rate cut? Or maybe when the new Fed chair comes in, right? Powell, his term is supposed to end at the end of April. And then Kevin Warsh is Trump's nominee, but he has to get approved by the banking committee, or some committee part of Congress needs to actually vote and approve him, and it's dragging out. And there's a good chance that it gets dragged out so far that Powell stays on as Fed chair longer than we thought, because Congress just does what Congress does. And it's one of those little games they play, and they can drag things out if they want to. And this is one that might end up getting dragged out. But this chart is interesting because we're looking at this first line here, which is April 29th, 2026. That is the next FOMC meeting. There's a 0% chance, according to the CME Fed Watch tool, a 0% chance there's going to be a rate cut in April. But look at rate hike. Rate hike just doubled since Wednesday. Wednesday, this was at 6.2% for a rate hike. Now it's at 12.4% for a rate hike. Why would they hike rates? Well, we have inflation ticking up. We have unemployment ticking up. And not good. Not good. Now, typically, unemployment ticking up would mean a rate cut, but the inflation is more important, particularly with what's happening with oil, and it's not looking great. But then we go to June 17th, and that would be the first meeting that Kevin Warsh would be US Fed chair. 0% rate cut, 16% hike. And then we flip to July, 15% rate hike. We go to July, 0% cut, 16% hike. We go to September, 0% cut, 24% hike. And then we go to October, 0% cut, 28. The first time there's even a chance that there might be a rate cut would be December, the end of the year. So again, they'll play the game, right? Every time there's an FOMC meeting, they'll be the game, right? And you'll have all those crypto Twitter accounts just calling bullshit on stuff, and it just gets old. The repetitiveness is old. I think they're just going to the chances are they're just going to hold rates for the next year. They're going to hold rates. That's what the biggest odds are, that for the next year they're going to hold rates. But we'll play the game because that's what we do. Stocks did not have a good day today. Nearly $1 trillion in total market cap of stocks. They're almost all red today. Almost all stocks were red today, particularly the last 10 minutes. There was a lot of sell-off at the end. In the last 5 minutes, there was a little bit of buyback going on, maybe before the weekend. Some traders trying to buy on a dip, thinking maybe Monday it'll be up. But now there's all this talk about ground troops in Iran and all of that. And I'm just like, that's not going to be good for the markets. And you guys know that I called for a big drop in the stock market in 2026. And we are seeing the beginning of that. We're seeing the beginning of that. We look at the S&P 500 and it's pulling back. Now, again, the end of the day, we had a little comeback here, a little bit of buying at the comeback, but S&P 500 did come down to my support line. just below 6,500. And that goes back quite a ways, that support line. Yeah, that was what I was holding back in 2025. What was resistance became support back in 2025, and we're back there. Now, this was my prediction, right? Was that there'd be a bigger thing, a bigger drop, and we are beginning that sooner than I thought. A little bit accelerated, but this was my prediction, was this white line, and that I would be buying stocks somewhere here. And I'm not ready to buy yet. Is this dip the bottom right down to my support line? Is that the bottom? Remains to be seen, but I'm still looking at more pullback to come. So again, this was my prediction that I made way back in January. This was my little sketch line, and it's falling sooner. We talked about that when I made this line, that it looked like the pullback was happening sooner than I thought. So that's what's happening in the stock market. Now we go over to gold. Well, guess what gold is doing? Gold is dropping too. Now you would think that with fear of war, that you'd be seeing a lot of buying of gold, but gold is selling. Gold is actually selling off here. Look at this. Gold is dropping. And then we go and we look at silver, and silver is dropping even more. Down another 6.5% today for silver, down to 68, almost 67 on silver. It actually did hit 67. It did hit 67 today. Silver did. So this is, where's the money going? People are pulling out of the stock market. They're pulling out of crypto. They're pulling out of gold. They're pulling out of silver. Where are they putting their money? Well, if we were getting yield on stable coins, you'd put it in stable coins. I've got a chunk sitting in Robinhood Gold, and I'm earning 3.25%. And I put some of it over into the new Robinhood banking, where I'm getting 4% on Robinhood banking. And it's just sitting there. But it's earning some interest. So I'm not losing money. It's sitting in interest. So that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, bad day in the stock market today. Gold and silver dropping down. Again, hundreds of billions of dollars being wiped out of the gold and silver markets as well. Bitcoin. So we talked about Bitcoin and these bear flags, the bear flags of Bitcoin in a bear market. And you can see it here. And we've got another bear flag happening. And just like we had the big dump here, second half of January to February 5th, we had that big dump. There's most likely going to be another one coming. And that's when Bitcoin is going to drop into the 50s. As Kriss predicted, we're going to see Bitcoin in the 50s. And I think this is setting up to do that with this bear flag. And here's another view of it here. Bitcoin census shows us very similar to 2022. We had the pullback from the 2021 all-time high at 69K. We had the pullback, began the bear market. We had a relief rally, and then the big capitulation down through just about the rest of 2022. So here we are, 2026. We had the pullback from the October 2025 high. We had a relief rally, and then this bigger drop, but we're actually having a little intermediary rally. Again, that goes back to, that's this right here that we're in the middle of too. And so what our friend Ben Cowan is saying, if you didn't see his recent video and live stream, if we look at Bitcoin and we go to the daily chart here. I guess he usually uses the weekly, right? With less candles. He uses the weekly. And he says, look here. This is one way to do it, right? So you have these rallies in green that happen. And you have this rally in green that happens. And this is in a bear market. You have these rallies in green. But then you also have these bigger rallies, bigger pullbacks that happen in a shorter period of time. And we'll make that red. You have that happening. And then we had that again, second half of January down to February 5th. We had that. So Ben was saying, which is true, in a bear market, Bitcoin actually spends more time going up. It's just the pullbacks are more extreme. That's what's happening. And I'm guessing that we're going to see something like this next. Is going to be that. And we're going to go down to the low 50s. That would be the next move, would be that in a bear market. And I'm waiting for that. And so now somewhere in this level is where I'm going to start buying again. And again, I pointed it out here. This is my white arrow here that I had from the beginning of the year, where I was predicting 50K, right around 50K Bitcoin by July. But it actually may come sooner. Now, we can go back to 2022 because, again, we're doing comparisons. We're doing comparisons to previous bear markets. And you can see that even back in 2022, we had a series of relief rallies. Put these in green. We had another one here, bigger one. Longer. Let's do that again. So we have that. And we even had another small one here. But what happened? We had more vertical drops, which are red. So in 2022, a bear market year, Bitcoin actually spent more time going up than going down, which was an interesting theory. And Ben showed this pretty clearly as he was showing this. So kind of interesting that we see that. 4% on Robinhood banking. Yeah, that's what I got. That's the APY on interest is 4%. Is it because I'm a Robinhood Gold customer that I'm getting a bigger percentage than other people? Maybe, Michael, maybe. So this was kind of interesting. And then you can go back to 2018 and you can see the same thing. I'm not going to go back into all of that detail, but you can go back to 2018 and you've got similar things where the pullbacks were more vertical and Bitcoin spent more time actually in the green than in the red. Very similar back in 2018 because the pullbacks that we had were more extreme in the 2018 bear market. And then go back 2014 and it did it again. So this is every 4 years. So kind of interesting to see that. And so we're in a bear market. I hope you all agree that we're in a bear market. How long is it going to be till this next capitulation plays out? We're going to see. But that right now that would be a bull flag. A bear flag sign with a pullback coming, which is what Ash Crypto was showing here. So that's all coming. Now, what does this mean for Dogecoin? Well, if we look at the macro, and I commented on this Bitcoin census chart here on X. I commented on this yesterday because he's showing cycle 3 in Dogecoin being extended into 2026. And this is not correct. It's not correct. Actually, this run that we had at the end of 2024 was the yellow vertical. And it's just the yellow vertical spike in Dogecoin was at a smaller percentage last bull cycle. Last bull cycle. It didn't go up as high. We were thinking more. And even Tom Crown today agreed. Tom said, yeah, we should have had that dollar Dogecoin party at the end of 2024. We should have had Dogecoin go up at a higher price. But then what happened? And even Tom called it out. October 10th. October 10th came in and just destroyed the remaining bull market. Destroyed it. So we didn't have that. And then down we went. So we're now in cycle 4 on Bitcoin census's chart here. We're in the next red wedge here. We're in the next red wedge. This was the yellow here. It was just stunted. So meanwhile, we had our friend Elon Musk here post a video. Now, somebody else made the video. And as Elon does, he right-clicks, saves, and then reposts it as his own. Because that's what Elon does, right? That's what Elon does. But he posted it.
You come to me on the day of my Doge's wedding, and you ask me for my private key. Are you even a friend? You don't even think to call me the Doge father. You come to me.
So Elon posts this, and what does Dogecoin do? What does Dogecoin do when Elon posts this? Let's take a look. He posted it yesterday, and Dogecoin had one little green candle, and then it just petered out. That was it. That was it. So Elon Musk has no effect on the price of Dogecoin with his X posts. There's no effect. As we've been saying, Dogecoin needs to show real utility. It needs to be a real thing. It's not going to go crazy on Twitter posts by Elon anymore. So that's not happening anymore. And that just showed it. I mean, you would think that a Doge post by Elon would pump the market, and it didn't. So also there's this thing about Tesla and this next phase of full self-driving coming out with this update. And Elon says, inevitably, this will be 420. So why not? So 420, he's still sticking with, those kinds of fun dates, 420. And Tesla Model Doge is like, X money should be launching on 420. And Doge Tipping says the same thing. X money, 420. Let's make it happen, 420. That would be the day to do it. As we were thinking, we could probably say, hey, Jan, how are you, my friend? Love it. Absolutely love it. Doesn't really show well when I put it on the screen, but hope you're well. Hope you're well. So I don't know. We're going to see 420. What is it? It's today's 320. So we got a month to go. And as Turbo said at the beginning of the live stream here, I mean, Dogecoin to the moon, right? Dogecoin to the moon. And so we wait. Meanwhile, if you want to trade Dogecoin, you can actually now on Polymarket, you can do these little Polymarket like 15-minute trades. Like these Polymarkets come up and you can bet whether the price of Dogecoin is going to be higher or lower than the current price 15 minutes later. And it's just like, oh. So if you want to gamble, you can go do that on Polymarket with Dogecoin. You can gamble on the price of Doge, whether it's going to be higher or lower. And typically it's around 50% each time. So it's a flip of a coin, up or down. Gambling again. You're gambling on the price of Doge. Like, oh, I guess if you think it's a bear market and you do it enough times, eventually you're going to win if you keep saying lower, lower, lower. We shall see. Anyway, Bitcoin is at 69K for Bitcoin. Doge is at 9.3 cents. That's where we are today. So Chuck Norris, I did see some reference to Chuck Norris today. So did he pass away today? But all the references were like this, right? Like Chuck Norris didn't die. Like the rest of the world died, or Chuck got a free pass up to heaven, or there was all these different things with Chuck, of course. Chuck Norris. Yeah, Ryan. Chuck Norris didn't wait for death. Death waited for him. Yeah. He will have a casket shaped like a karate chop. 2021 was a good time. Elon posted about Doge, and the Doge price reacted to every Elon post back in 2021. It's not happening here. Not happening here. Hey, Goose, how are you? Welcome. We're going to the moon, Jan says. Whatever you think the moon is, let's do it, right? Let's do it. Chuck Norris is how you got your nickname, Chuck. Well, there you go. Well, that's a great person to be nicknamed after. Everybody hit the like button, folks. Hey, Jason, thanks for reminding everybody to hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We are in the Q&A, so put your questions in the chat. Questions in the chat. What's on your mind? What is on your mind? When Chuck gets in the water, he doesn't get wet. The water gets Chuck. There you go. Are you planning to load any Dogecoin this summer? Yes, I am planning on loading. I have a target, of course, 6.7 cents. Is it going to get there? We don't know. So if it gets down to 8 cents again, definitely in the sevens, I will be buying. And I'll be doing periodic buys, not all at once, because you're never gonna get the bottom. But I'll be doing some buys in chunks. So they're dollar cost averaging in to Doge again. I have to restack Dogecoin, and I'm also planning on getting back to a whole Bitcoin as well. I want to be a whole coiner again on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin in the 50s. And Dogecoin in the sevens is what I'm looking at. Now, if Dogecoin goes down into the sixes and I've already kind of used all my cash in the sevens, so be it. Again, looking back at history, Dogecoin is going to be bottoming out in probably Q3 of 2026, and then it begins to climb back up. So it's only a matter of time before Dogecoin will be back up over 10 cents. So if you buy at 7 and it goes up back above 10 cents when you bought at 7, that's almost a 50% gain. I'll take that. That's good. And of course, that's minimal. I posted on X today this, which is today, the first day of spring. Throughout the history of Dogecoin, what was the price on the first day of spring? It's 9.4 cents. Today, 1 year ago, it was 16.7 cents. And you know, on this day in history, 1 year ago was the highest price Dogecoin has ever hit on March 20th. It's never been higher. It was 14 cents in 2024. 7 cents in 2023, 12 cents in 2022. And in 2021, the big year for Doge, on March 20th, it was only 5 cents for Doge. And of course, then you get below that and you're way below a penny. 2020, 2019, 2018, all of those years are all Doge below a penny. We're not going back to those prices. Unfortunately. It would have been good to buy a crap ton of Doge down there, but this is what we have right now. So, hey, we get back up to 14, 16 cents, and you're buying at 7, you're doubling. And you'll learn to take profits next time, right? You'll learn to take profits. Da, da, da. I grew a beard 1 year, and guys from work said I looked like Chuck Norris, and it stuck. So was that the only time you had a beard, and now you don't have a beard again? But the name Chuck stuck. 6'7", exactly, Ryan. 6'7", 6'7". Right there with you, Kriss. Once we dip into the 8 to 7, I'm stacking up. Yep, that's what I'm doing. So I'm being patient. All of the charts with all of the news to me is still lining up to be lower prices this cycle. So I'm not buying right now. Just like I wasn't buying in February and I wasn't buying in January. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. I'll buy at 6.9. Is it the right time to buy Doge? You have to make up your mind. Mesfinga Bramarium. Tough one to say. You have to make up your mind of when you buy. I can't tell you when to buy. I can only tell you what my plan is, and you can see what other people's plans are in the chat. Who knows? Maybe something huge happens tomorrow with Doge and the price goes up and it doesn't come back to 9 cents ever again. That could happen. I'm not expecting that. At least until April 20th. So for the next month, we're going to see what happens. But I'm guessing lower prices. You've gotten the bottom before. I'll bet you have, Turbo. I'll bet you have. Everybody likes the name Chuck. You used to use your real name here, and I don't remember what it was, Chuck. I don't remember. I usually know when people change their YouTube name, but I don't always remember what the prior one was. Yeah, Ryan's doing the opposite. You like being opposite, don't you? Opposite of what everybody else is doing. Right, exactly, Goose. You didn't use to use your real name. Chuck just didn't allow you to use his name then. Right. Yep. That's good. I'm sure Chuck Norris would have loved to have met Chuckles. The girl at the hardware store grew a beard. Whatever. My plane, Steven, I don't understand this. My plane lets my L9s keep running, pick up couple when price drop and have them hosted. Oh, that's your plan. I get it. Yeah, I just, the whole Dogecoin mining thing just didn't work out for me, so I hadn't done it. I was all set. I was all set to start Dogecoin mining, and just didn't happen. Maybe sometime in the future, we'll see. Kronos. No profits taken, so I learned, could have had double the amount of Doge and some profits had I just listened to you and not been stubborn. Now again, I didn't tell anybody what to do, whether to buy or sell. I just told you what I was doing and when I was selling. So I told everybody what I was doing. I still get blamed. It's still hashtag blame Kriss, right? What? No, it doesn't matter what happens. It's hashtag blame Kriss, right? And that's what we do here, right? Hashtag blame Kriss. There we go. And it works for everything. It totally works for everything. But hey, I did all right. And I want to do all right again. I want to do all right again. Anthony is the opposite. We haven't seen him in a while. You would think he'd be showing up during a bear market and like gloating, but yeah, not. I'm ready for that 23 to 33 Doge reversal. That would be sweet with a big bag of Dogecoin. That would be sweet. There's always Sheeb mining. Sheeb mining. There's no Sheeb mining. No. Doesn't exist. There's no such thing. Now, Sheeb did get a little pump. Dogecoins was kind of minor. Sheeb's was actually a little bigger yesterday because the CFTC basically said, yeah, Dogecoin and Sheeb are not securities. They are commodities. How Sheeb got lumped in there, I don't know. Why do they keep lumping Sheeb in with Dogecoin? It's totally different. Sheeb is not a coin. It's a stupid token. But yeah, but Sheeb did have a little run. Now it's pulling back. Today you blame Tom. What did you blame Tom for today? I only came on at the end. PaxCat Your King won the giveaway. Did PaxCat get paid? I would bet the PaxCat Your King actually passed it on, right? That's what PaxCat Your King would do, would pass it on. Totally rigged, of course. It's rigged. The Doge father is to blame. Blame Kriss. Now I have to eat ramen noodles for another second. Hey, Chase, just keep stacking, right? Just keep stacking. We have been 36 days under 10 cents. So at about $10 a day DCA, we would own 3,600 Doge. Just keep stacking. Keep stacking. I know you had a good plan. been through it before, kind of knew more than me. So I feel I should have at least taken some profits, left a little in the game in case, which is what I did too. I didn't sell all my Dogecoin. I sold like 85% of it. And the other I kept in there just because you didn't know. You don't know what's going to happen. And I was kind of still thinking 2025, we would still have a big blow off top. And it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Are you watching sheep? Compo. No, don't watch sheep. It's just going to fall right back down. Sheep's got nothing going for it. Yeah, it had a little run and it's going to fall all the way back down. Holding since 2021, hashtag Blake Kriss. There you go, Shaj. Oh, yes, of course. I have cash sitting on Robinhood Gold, making 3.85%. How to get 4%. So Yeely, for 4%, you sign up for Robinhood Banking, and then you transfer money from your buying power into Robinhood Banking. It's a separate app. So Robinhood now has 3 apps. Robinhood has the green app that you normally use. You know, the green feather is for your trading. And then it has a purple, and that is the wallet if you want to use the separate wallet. And now it has gold. It's this banking, it's probably easier, just I can't show it on my phone. Robinhood Banking. I'll show it here. So Robinhood Banking looks like this. So it's kind of this goldish brown color in Robinhood Banking. See if I can get it on a bigger redirect notice. Sure. So they do this kind of managed investing, but they also have just a regular Robinhood Banking. And that is where I'm earning 4%, is in Robinhood Banking. So I transferred cash, fiat, right, from my buying power on the green app over to Robinhood Banking on the brown app. And that is the money that is getting 4%. Now there's talk about X Money giving 6%, but X Money isn't out yet. It's only the beta testers can do that. So I'm trying out the Robinhood Banking. There are, when you go into the green main Robinhood app, when those little notices come up, that's where I saw the Robinhood Banking, was on that one. So it depends on where you live, whether it's available or not, because it's not worldwide. And I don't think they have Robinhood Banking in like New York, if I remember. It's not available in New York yet because they don't have some kind of license in New York they need to have. Hashtag rigged, hashtag blame Kriss. SHIB used to run with Doge, yes, but Doge has been outperforming SHIB for years overall. SHIB has not been a good thing to hold. They don't want to select Doge as the #1 meme coin yet. Well, so that's why they're lumping SHIB in too. They don't want to single out Doge. Good day, Aussie. How are you? So Pax Cat did pass it on. That's a good kitty. And that's what you do. You just keep buying. The longer you wait, the better the reward is going to be. You know, you sit here and you look at what's happened so far with these, with these charts, Bitcoin pulling back like it has, typical bear market kind of action. And you wonder, is the next bull cycle going to follow the bull market action? So here we are waiting to see whether that's going to happen. How high will prices go? Nobody knows. You can chart anything you want. You can come up with fib lines, and you can come with inverse head and shoulders and cups and handles and all that stuff, but no one knows how high Bitcoin or Doge are going to go next cycle. And thinking that there are, again, a continuation of cycles, that's what we would see. We would see another big vertical run for Dogecoin. But we don't know when or how high. Campo loves sheep. Maramello, how are you? Welcome. Sheep was my first ever crypto. Is that right? And you admit that? I would make up a story. I would make up a story. How is that your first? I mean, usually it's Bitcoin or ETH. Mine was Dogecoin. Did I get my mining rig? No, it was a lie. Those guys lied to me. It was never shipped. So, yep, didn't get it. Never delivered. They made up something about being in customs. It wasn't. It was just never shipped. Not a fan of AlphaPax. Not a fan. There won't be a street named after Chuck Norris because nobody crosses Chuck Norris. See ya, Jan. I have not seen Robinhood banking. I'm in Texas, long-term Hood member. I do not know. Let's ask. In what states is Robinhood banking offered? See what Grok says. Because Grok, you have a question, just ask Grok. So I already have the Gold app because I use the Robinhood credit card. Huh. The Robinhood offers Robinhood banking, a suite including checking and high yield savings accounts provided by partner Coastal Community Bank to Robinhood Gold subscribers. All right, so you have to be Robinhood Gold. That's the first thing right there. Got to be Robinhood Gold. It appears to be rolling out with an invite request access process, which is what I got. No explicit state-by-state restrictions or unlicensed states are mentioned in the official Robinhood banking pages. So they're sending out invite requests to Robinhood Gold subscribers. That's what they're doing. All right. Well, I mean, I'm just using it as a place to stash some money to earn interest in a bear market. And then I'll take that money with whatever interest I gained, throw it back into the green app, and I'll buy crypto with it. Mastered the waiting game. You used to do long distance running, so you got hella stamina. I like that. I had no clue what I was doing. Buying sheep? Oh, this looks like it is a low price. I could get a lot of sheep. I can get a lot of coins, but they're not coins. They're just tokens. Now you know. But you got a lot of them. Oh, less stressful. I agreed. That's why I kind of enjoy visiting, sitting in during Tom's streams, because they are less stressful to be on this side, to just hang out in the chat, have some fun. Yeah, much less stressful. But I've been doing this longer than you have. So I think you did great. Charlie, I think you did great. From what I saw, you did great. It was fun to keep the community, the fam together while I was on vacation. That was awesome. The next thing to do is to have you on as a guest here, which we can do in StreamYard. So we'll have to plan for that. And then you can sort of be on, but not, right? Because you won't have to do all the flipping and stuff. So we could do that. That'll be fun. I bought Bitcoin when it came out on Robinhood as around 8,000 then. I used to swing trade it for, can you imagine swing trading Bitcoin at 8,000? Ah. Oh. Oh my gosh. That was your first dabble with crypto. Yazerski, quit my full-time job today trying to escape the rat race. Wish me luck. Good luck to you. My day is coming. My day is coming. I'm going to do the same thing. It's a massive thing to do, running a stream. Can't believe Kriss. Yep, and I will do them again every day when we're back in a bull market. There's more to talk about during a bull market. So it's tough to stretch these out over an hour in a bear market. You've got this. Stephen, doing well, hanging out. I got a little sun. You can see a little bit of tan. I'm not the white pasty Boston Kriss right now. Got a little sun. Student loans I'm paying off have higher interest than that. So making a good choice. Yes, getting any debt paid off is better in my opinion. There's a lot of people say that you should get the biggest mortgage possible because you can make more money investing. And I'm like, no, don't do that. No. Get out of debt and then have fun, worry-free. You don't have to worry about that big debt hanging over. That's my plan. We all think you did great, Charlotte. You're up for that? All right, we'll do that. Maybe next week. Find a day, maybe Monday, because I know you're busy Wednesdays. Maybe we'll do that Monday. That'd be fun. If you're available in your busy schedule. Hey, we have a great family, a lot of support. And from what I saw in that first stream, you were having a lot of fun, doing great. So awesome. Right. You start out talking about crypto and then, I heard there was spam. Yes, I heard there was. Did you actually eat spam? Did you actually do that? We'll always make time for the Doge fam. Aw. Appreciate the support. Compo ends up with spam and Pez. Pez? Remember Pez dispensers? Yeah. I haven't seen them in a long time. You did awesome, Charlie. Nobody else got time for spam. But hey, if you did it, they made me eat spam. Yes, I'm traumatized. Yeah, I would not do that. I will not do that. Sorry. Not even for the entertainment value. It's like, no, the salty potted meat in a tin. It's like, no, I'm not doing that. Charlie, now you making me even more curious. Yeah, where did it take a turn to? She did, but she didn't prepare it properly. Right. So if you, from what I understand, you take all of the spam out of the tin and you cook it and you add all sorts of flavoring to it to mask the real ugly taste of it, right? You do that. You weren't going to cook spam. Oh, there you go. Yes, we covered Elon. We covered Elon and his Doge father tweet, which did absolutely nothing to the price. I mean, we did get a little bit yesterday of a little bit of pump, like 2.5%. But it's like, come on, 2.5% on an Elon tweet about being the Doge father, and all we get is a lousy 2.5%. It's like, come on. That's not enough. That's not good enough. We have Raiden in the house. Hey, Raiden, how are you? Hello. What's up? Campo gave me a recipe as well. They wanted me to do stuff. Hey, Pat, bought 50,000 Doge when it was at 6 cents a few years back. Then it made its run to the top. Didn't cash out. Now kicking yourself. So you know better for next time. The next bull market. To take some profits. And you don't have to sell all 50. You could sell 40. Enjoy that and keep 10 in the game or some number. Because you never know what's going to happen. That's the game I played. Now I want to get back to millions of Doge again. And next month through the summer, I'm going to be adding Doge back into my stash along with Bitcoin and probably some SWI, maybe a couple little things for the fun of it. I'm not going to have 25 altcoins. Again, I'm not doing that. I was getting a little crazy back in 2022, 23. Way too many altcoins. Not doing that again. Opening the tin and smelling the spam was hard. Yeah, Kriss isn't doing that. Yes, disappointing. Yes, Goose, I saw in my notifications you tagged me. Keep tagging me on stuff like that. I saw that before, but on others, I don't always see everything. I can't be on X all the time. I got stuff to do. You fry it. You put it on bread with mayo and a piece of onion. Oh. Yeah, no, thank you. I'll use real meat if I'm going to do that. You fry in batter to seal in the goodness. Oh God. You have to fry it up real good. Eat it with rice and eggs or something like that. She ate it straight out of the can. Ugh. Ugh. 10 Doge for $1. 10 Doge for $1. Cut the spam into cubes, roll them in flour, then in egg, then in flour again, and fry them in a pan. Is there any taste left? Open the can, insert the fork. Do you think we'll get a run up to X payments? If it does indeed come out, and let's say it's on 420, right? It's 420, X money, 420. If it does indeed come out, I'm guessing Doge will have a small little pump. It's not going to be anything major. There's no Dogecoin on X money. And X money, the way it's being let out by having all these beta testers and all of this publicity about it now with William Shatner, Captain Kirk, and the beta testing and all that going on. It's like when it officially launches, it's not going to be a big deal. There's going to be no like big marketing thing. It's just going to kind of slowly just appear. And it's like, oh, there's X money. And Doge doesn't trade. Doge likes the big news, the pump, all of that stuff. And we're not going to get that. So I'm less optimistic about what Dogecoin does when X money is available to everybody. I'm thinking it's just not going to be as big of a deal. And we're in a bear market on top of that. So I think that's going to be tough. I was working in a customer's house a few years ago. They were cooking something. It started to smell like something gourmet, and it turned out to be spam. There you go. All in on Doge. I'm going to have some Bitcoin too. Doing good. Thanks. The start was driving. I heard about Elon's tweet. Couldn't see it. Yeah, it's basically this Doge father thing. We can play it again. Let me turn the volume up again.
You come to me on the day of my Doge's wedding, and you ask me for my private key. Are you even a friend? You don't even think to call me the Doge father.
That's it. But Elon, I mean, somebody else made it, right? Elon right-click, copied it, right? Copied it to his phone, and then reposted it as his own. And we got 2.5%. That's it. It's just like, nope. Just very disappointing. I've been watching this one coin for a minute now. The price dipped so low, it's honestly hard not to jump in, but there's a lot of chatter going around saying the project's doomed. Yeah, that's not worth the risk. And it's probably not a coin. It's probably a dumb token. Pass. Pass. Raiden has gifted a membership. Who got the membership? Oh, it's our friend from down under, Aussie. Hey, Aussie, congrats. Hey. Thank you, Raiden. Generosity, giving out another membership. And our friend Aussie here. Awesome. Awesome. Might not do much to the price of Doge, but I'm excited about X money. Can't wait to use it. I can't wait to use it either. I had such a hard time with the banks. Oh my God. Stupid banks. I hate them. They're asking me what I'm going to do with my money. It's none of your business. What I'm doing with my money. It's my money. It's not your money. It's my money. But I had to play the game. And they eventually came around and did what I wanted them to do. But it was frustrating getting there. I love how you're laughing about blame. I'm getting blame. Get used to it. Yeah, Alina. How are you? How are you, Alina? Oh, you actually retracted that message. Well, it still came up on my side. Sorry. But hello. Welcome. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you here in a little while. Say something good in the chat. Amazing, Raiden. So generous. Welcome, Aussie. Can't believe that didn't even move the needle. 2.5% is all we got off that. That's it. Oh. Spam fritters. bloody spam fritters, even better. Ace High. Due date. I don't know what that movie is. Due date. Don't know. Due date. Usually I know what's going on. Due date. Due date. Two guys and a dog? Looks like two guys and a dog. Due date. Don't know it. Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. Due date. Leave your comfort zone. I never heard of this movie. Due date. Never heard of it. Is it any good? A bromance movie, yeah. Bromance movie. Due date. Oh, never heard of it. There's just not many good movies anymore anyway, so. Right. Are you even a friend to not call me the Doge Father? In 2021, yeah, easily 30% pump. Nothing now. Yeah, they ask questions. Where's the money coming from? It's like, it's my money. It's in your bank. I want my money back. Are you trading oil, Dave? Are you trading oil? I said, say something good. Raiden has said something good. Cheers. You bought some wormhole when it reached its 52-week bottom. All right. Well, good luck with your wormhole. I'm not buying all that other stuff. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just not this time around. I would like to get more Jasmine. Jasmine for another run. I would do that. But he hasn't forgotten about us. But again, he didn't make that up on his own. He saw it in his Twitter feed. He copied it, pasted it, or reposted it as his own. He didn't have to, right? So he did. Got a chuckle out of it. Yeah. I know. In the good times, that would have been easily 30%, like Jason said. 2.5 lousy percent. That's all we get. You're having dinner right now? It's probably not spam. It's a funny movie. Due date. Okay. Not selling. You're not selling your oil? Am I going to start another KrissPax portfolio? Probably not. I still have the old portfolio. I didn't sell any of that. I gave away a bunch of the Doge and I replenished it. And that was it. That's all I did. I swapped out a few during the last bear into bull, but that's it. So yeah, I'm just not gonna buy that much. I'm just gonna do my own personal Doge, Bitcoin, add some more SWE, and maybe have fun with like a little Jasmine or something. And that's about it. If it keeps dropping like this, I'm fine kind of become an aluminum trader. Aluminum. Oh my God. I could add to the existing portfolio, but then that would mess it up, right? The initial $10,000 I put into it, which is, what is it worth right now? What is it worth right now? 15. Still right there. 14.7. So I'm still in the green. And these were all cryptos that I bought back in 2023 in the summer. Dogecoin up 50%. Bitcoin up 150%. XRP is up 147%. My ETH is up 30%. My Jasmy is still up 52%. But then I got the losers now. Litecoin, Algorand, Sheeb, Stacks, and Sui are all down, with Stacks being the biggest loser, down 85%. Could probably DCA some of that. 24 cents back to $1.66. Oh my God. I can't believe I bought Stacks at $1.66. Ah, well. But it's still green. That's right. It's still up almost 50% in the bear market. Yeah. So I'm just going to round trip it to the next bull and then sell it all. I proved my point. My point was, in the summer of 2023, I said it didn't matter what you bought, you were going to make money. And I wasn't even buying on the dips. I was buying whatever the price was on the days I was doing live streams and just buying whatever the price was. And the portfolio went up. So it was up to 50,000 at the peak in December 2024. It was at 50,000. Should have sold it then. No shoulda, woulda, couldas right here on this channel. No shoulda, woulda, couldas. Don't forget to smash the likes, subscribe. Thank you, Kronos. Keeping everybody on point. Right, so I will find a time. A day and a time this summer, probably. And I'm guessing it's going to be like August 5th. Right, sometime early August or early September, when I'm going to say the same thing. It's like, it doesn't matter what you buy, you're going to make money. And we could see that. We could see that. Bear market. I still think we're going lower. Being patient, waiting. Cash ready to buy, and I'm not buying right now. And we're going to chop around in this range for a little bit longer. We're going to watch Bitcoin kind of like do its thing and kind of bounce around here in this bear flag until the next big drop is what I think is going to happen. So we're gonna bounce around in this bear flag. Is what I think. And then we're gonna have a big drop like we had here, end of January into early February, that big drop. We're gonna have another one of those. Something's gonna cause that to happen. Because we've seen it. Did you hear about the meteor on Tuesday over Lake Erie dropping south into Ohio? Didn't hear about a meteor in Ohio. Whoa, I forgot to turn that down. We got the pinger on. Something pinged. Something pinged. ETH. Yeah, the market is just kind of mixed right now. It's bouncing up and down. So I don't know why there would be some big, huge leverage liquidations going on right now. All right, gang, that's what we have for today. Hey, it's Friday, going into the weekend. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. And we may have a surprise guest on Monday. We'll see if we can make that happen. Surprise guest. Of course, it wouldn't be a surprise for you guys because you know we were talking about it. But we'll see if we can get that to happen. That'll be fun for Monday's live stream here on KrissPax Live. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll probably have a video come out sometime this weekend as well, just to catch up on things going on. And we will see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.